This page is the striking cover of Nintendo Power, prominently featuring the magazine's logo and highlighting Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire as the main feature, promising extensive rebel strategies. Other key games advertised include N64 Super Score with NBA Hangtime and Cruisin' USA, a look at upcoming N64 titles from the Shoshinkai event, and a 6-page test drive of the highly anticipated Mario Kart 64, complete with a bonus calendar. There's also a nod to Donkey Kong Country 3. The cover image itself showcases a character from Shadows of the Empire, setting the tone for the N64 focus inside. This page presents a dramatic visual of a bus seemingly under siege by a massive, fire-breathing Bowser, symbolizing the intense action of the Nintendo 64. The text strongly advocates for a Nintendo Power subscription as your ultimate guide to the N64's exciting 3D world. It stresses the magazine's packed content, offering vital secrets, strategies, tips, and maps to boost your gameplay and help you survive the challenges ahead. You'll find detailed reports on 64 titles, learn how to use the analog stick to view characters like Mario from any angle, or check for threats like Bowser, and get reviews and rankings for games across all Nintendo systems. Subscribing is pitched as essential for anyone entering the new era of gaming. This page serves as the table of contents for Volume 92, January 1997, welcoming the Happy New Year. The visuals highlight major upcoming and recent releases like Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire, Mario Kart 64, and Cruisin' USA, set against a festive winter backdrop. The magazine is packed with content, starting with extensive strategy guides for games like Shadows of the Empire and NBA Hangtime. Special features include a report from Japan's Shoshinkai trade show, offering a glimpse into future gaming technology and titles, a detailed preview of Mario Kart 64 showcasing its potential, and coverage of other games such as DKC3 In Depth and Casper. Regular sections cover player opinions, power charts, classified tips, and previews of what's next in the world of Nintendo. This page is the Player's Pulse section, featuring letters from readers sharing their opinions on the magazine and Nintendo's offerings. Topics range from concerns about the upcoming 64DD add-on and its potential success, to feedback on the return of comics in the magazine, with some readers loving them and others not. One reader questions the full name of Princess Peach, noting different names used in past games. Another reader expresses frustration with older games dominating the power charts. The page features fan art showcasing various characters and games, including Mario, Samus, Link, and Breath of Fire characters. The Nintendo Power staff respond to the letters, addressing the points raised about the 64DD, comics, and character names. This page showcases the highly anticipated power charts, revealing which games players are currently ranking as the best. On the Nintendo 64, Super Mario 64 maintains its dominant position at number 1, with Wave Race 64 close behind. It's notable to see several new 64 titles making their debut on the chart this month. The Super NES chart is led by Donkey Kong Country 3, while the timeless classic The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past continues its incredible lengthy presence on the list, showing its enduring popularity. Game Boy players rate The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening as their top choice. Echoing discussions from the previous page, the letters section clarifies that the reason classic games remain high on the charts is simply because readers continue to vote them as their favorites. The page also features a most wanted list, highlighting upcoming or desired items like Legend of Zelda 64 and Mario Kart 64 for the N64, alongside other exciting prospects. Additional sections provide phone numbers for game counselors and information on Nintendo's online service. This page dives into Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire for the Nintendo 64, hailing it as a 3D tour de force that blends ground adventure and space combat with varied gameplay perspectives. The focus is on Dash Rendar, a mercenary and rogue hero entangled in events between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Key characters like Dash's droid companion Lebo, the infamous Boba Fett, and the villainous Prince Miser are highlighted. The page also outlines Dash's arsenal, including the laser pistol, seeker, flamethrower, pulse cannon, stunner, disruptor, shield, and jetpack, detailing their functions. Screenshots provide glimpses of the first-person and third-person action. This page continues the exploration of Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire, detailing the action on Hoth. The first section covers the Battle of Hoth, focusing on snowspeeder combat. It advises players to take down smaller units like ATSTs and probe droids first, before tackling the massive AT-walkers. A key strategy highlighted is the classic tow cable maneuver to bring down the ATATs. Moving inside, the guide covers the escape from Echo Base, where Dash Rendar must navigate the base to reactivate generators and escape. Snowtroopers are noted for their tactical intelligence. There's a bonus section on dealing with Wampas, persistent creatures found in the base. The page also explains challenge points, hidden collectibles that reward players. Tips are given on handling specific enemies like the Aconist, exploiting its slow turning speed. Screenshots illustrate the Snowspeeder gameplay and the interior base exploration. This page continues the walkthrough for Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire, shifting focus to events after the escape from Hoth. First, you'll face the perils of the asteroid field. The guide advises on engaging enemy TIE fighters and bombers, emphasizing the use of missiles for quick kills, and how to earn challenge points by destroying specific red asteroids. It also delves into the strategic choice between the outside camera and the gunnery chair view for optimal combat. The action then moves to Ordmantle Junkyard, where Dash Rendar hunts the bounty hunter IG-88. This section covers the treacherous jump and duck sequences across multiple stages, requiring precise platforming to avoid obstacles and collect bonuses on moving trains and rooftops. Finally, the page provides tactics for taking down IG-88 in the Take Out the Trash segment, highlighting his pattern and the environmental power-ups available to aid in the fight. This page continues the walkthrough for Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire. It first covers Gaul Spaceport, detailing how to open doors using a platform switch and utilizing the jetpack for navigation. The guide provides strategy for the Boba Fett boss fight, advising on movement and targeting, and then covers the subsequent battle against his ship, Slavin, recommending targeting its engines. The walkthrough then shifts to Mos Eisley and Beggar's Canyon, focusing on swoop bike racing techniques and navigating the desert area leading to the Sarlacc pits. It notes the wrong way indicator, but explains you can revisit areas later, and mentions a hidden rabbit icon in Mos Eisley. This page continues the Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire walkthrough, moving on to the Imperial freighter Suprosa and the sewers of Imperial City. On the Suprosa, the guide advises stocking up on limited health and weapons like seeker shells, navigating areas with rotating obstacles, and using switches to open doors in the cargo hold to find the Death Star plans. In the sewers of the Imperial City, it introduces the resilient Dianoga creature, noting its weakness is its eye, and recommending the disruptor weapon. The walkthrough details entering a pipe system to find a security key and an underwater exit. Finally, it covers the loader droid boss, suggesting a strategy of running the room's perimeter and attacking its base. This page continues the adventure in Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire, detailing the challenges within Yzer's palace and the ensuing Skyhook battle. Inside the palace, you'll face tough internal defenses and navigate tricky environmental puzzles like timed door runs, hidden lift tube secrets, and carefully timed jumps through grinding gears to set explosive charges. A formidable gladiator droid guards the escape route, a resilient enemy that regenerates but is vulnerable to headshots from disruptor and seeker weapons. The action then moves to space for the Skyhook battle, where you must destroy the station's defensive towers using torpedoes while avoiding the invulnerable Star Destroyer. Completing challenge points throughout the game is noted to award special codes. This page takes us to the Shoshinkai event in Japan, Nintendo's major trade show, where the next wave of 64 games made their debut. Nintendo Power was there to get hands-on, with titles like Zelda 64, Star Fox 64, Yoshi's Island 64, Earthbound 64, Mario Kart 64, Kirby's Air Ride, and Blast Corps, all shown with impressive screenshots. The highlight was experiencing the games firsthand, feeling the action amplified by the new Jolting Pack accessory, particularly in Star Fox 64. Mario Kart 64 proved to be the biggest hit of the show, drawing massive crowds. The event also offered a look at the upcoming 64DD magnetic disk drive. It was truly a feast of Nintendo's future on the SD4. This page delves deeper into the N64's future, highlighting the revolutionary potential of the 64DD magnetic disk drive for game expansion, updates, and new genres like RPGs and simulation games. It also introduces the Jolting Pack, a vibration accessory demonstrated with Star Fox 64 and Blast Corps, promising tactile feedback. Screenshots showcase upcoming titles like Zelda 64 and Star Fox 64. The technical specifications of the 64DD are detailed. A feature on Shigeru Miyamoto and his team discusses the creative process behind these new games and the ideas that led to the Jolting Pack, originally conceived for a fishing game but finding broader application. This page continues looking at the future of the N64, showcasing a diverse range of upcoming games, including detailed looks at Perfect Striker Soccer and Imagineer's King of Pro Baseball, both featuring impressive graphics and gameplay shown in multiple screenshots. Other titles mentioned include the Mystical Ninja sequel, Bomberman 64, and racing game Rev Limit. The discussion continues with Miyamoto regarding Zelda 64's progress and technical advancements, Star Fox 64's visual effects and potential surprises, and the unique artistic style of Yoshi's Island 64, providing insight into the creative process and development timelines for these highly anticipated titles. This page continues coverage of the Shoshinkai event, highlighting more games beyond the most anticipated 64 blockbusters. We get a look at titles like the intense helicopter action of Wild Choppers, the unique wrestling of Sumo 64, and the distinct fighting styles in Dual Heroes. There's also a focus on the N64's technical future, discussing how features like microcode and versatile controller ports are designed to carry gaming into the 21st century by optimizing performance and allowing diverse peripherals. The event also showed strong support for previous systems, featuring notable games for the Game Boy, such as an updated Game Boy Gallery and the Super Famicom, showcasing Donkey Kong Country 3, Street Fighter Alpha 2, and new games like Bomberman 5 and Dragon Quest II. This page dives into NBA Hangtime on the Nintendo 64, hailing it as a superb arcade port that will make you abandon other basketball games. It highlights the game's core appeal: monster jams, impossible threes, and an intelligent game engine with realistic AI opponents. A key feature is the pin system, which lets you create and save a custom player, tracking your stats and win/loss record. The Create a Player option offers deep customization, letting you choose appearance, uniform, attributes, and even special privileges like enhanced rebounding or control over the turbometer. Plus, the pin system unlocks cool secrets, including hidden players like duplicate NBA stars and even programmers from other Midway games. It's clear the reviewer is impressed by the game's depth and faithful arcade translation. This page expands on the depth of NBA Hangtime, detailing the extensive game options and modes available beyond the core gameplay. You can fine-tune your experience with various switches affecting gameplay, like enabling or disabling the shot clock, tag arrow, or even the fun Big Head mode. Tournament mode challenges purists by disabling secret codes. A unique feature is the trivia contest, straight from the arcade, where answering NBA questions earns points that can eventually be exchanged for skill points to boost your created player. The game supports up to 4 players in a variety of formats, from standard one-on-one against the computer to competitive and cooperative 2-player modes, a unique 3-player dynamic, and the ultimate Chowdic 4-player 2-on-2 contest. You can also customize sound settings, difficulty, clock speed, and individual controller configurations, showing the game's commitment to player preference. This page dives into the strategic core of NBA Hangtime, presenting the best team matchups as recommended pairings for each team to dominate the court. It emphasizes that success lies in knowing and using your players' abilities effectively, especially with substitutions only allowed at halftime. The article lists the optimal duos for various teams, offering insights into their strengths and weaknesses. For instance, Chicago Bulls' Pippen and Rodman form a dream team with impressive skills, while the Dallas Mavericks Kidd and Mashburn focus on speed. The Houston Rockets feature a dream offensive and defensive pair in Drexler and Olajuwon. The advice highlights key attributes like shooting, speed, power, blocking, and stealing, and suggests tactics like taking it to the hoop or using specific players for shooting versus driving. It's all about maximizing your chosen pair's potential and adapting to injuries. This page continues the deep dive into NBA Hangtime's best team matchups, highlighting strategic player pairings for various franchises beyond those covered previously. It outlines how to maximize each duo's potential on the court, recognizing that halftime substitutions are your only option for adjustment. The guide details pairings like Miami's Hardaway and Mourning, New York's Ewing and Johnson, and Seattle's Kemp and Payton, offering insights into their combined strengths in areas like speed, power, blocking, stealing, and shooting. It emphasizes leveraging specific players for driving, shooting, or defensive plays to gain the advantage in your game. This page delves into the Star Wars universe, with an excerpt from the Dark Horse Comics graphic novel epic, Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire. The left side features a striking illustration showcasing key figures like Prince Exizar and Jabba the Hutt, central villains in the story. The right side presents comic panels depicting Luke Skywalker, Dash Rendar, Lando, and Chewbacca navigating the treacherous subsewers beneath Shrizer's fortress after escaping Black Sun. They encounter a Dianoga, a tentacled creature reminiscent of the one found in the Death Star trash compactor, adding immediate peril. The text explains that this is the fourth installment of excerpts and details the plot. The heroes are attempting to rescue Princess Leia from Prince Exizar's stronghold. It highlights Dark Horse Comics' expansion of the Star Wars lore, noting that other series explore the backgrounds of popular villains like Boba Fett and Jabba the Hutt, referencing titles such as Bounty on Barkuda and The Hunger of Princess Nampi. This page continues the Star Wars: Shadows of the Empire comic excerpt, detailing the hero's infiltration of Prince Exizar's fortress to rescue Leia. The team, including Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian, and Dash Rendar, navigates the complex, aiming for Exizar's outflow system where Leia is believed to be held. Despite an attempt to proceed quietly, they are discovered by guards. The comic depicts the ensuing firefight, as Luke and Chewie engage the hostiles, abandoning any pretense of stealth. Luke confirms his connection to Leia through the Force, assuring her he is coming for her, even as the situation escalates into open combat. This page continues the escape from Exizar's fortress. Chewbacca and Luke Skywalker battle guards in close quarters. Lando Calrissian disables security systems while the Millennium Falcon, piloted by C-3PO and R2-D2, navigates the cityscape, attempting to lose pursuers. Luke finds Leia, and they are reunited just as the Falcon evades a robotic police vehicle by crashing it into a walkway. Leia expresses her surprise that the droids are piloting the ship, but Luke assures her they are managing the escape. The next page continues the intense escape from Exizar's fortress. Luke Skywalker confronts Prince Exizar directly, while Leia is held hostage. Both sides employ thermal detonators as leverage in the standoff. Fighting erupts between the heroes, including Luke, Chewbacca, Lando, and Dash Rendar, and Exizar's guards. Exizar learns of Luke's connection to Darth Vader. With time running out, Lando initiates a desperate escape plan through a garbage chute, using a timed detonator as a diversion. The heroes make their break amidst the chows, leaving a Exizar to deal with the impending explosion. This page dives into a treasure trove of game codes and tips. It features classic teams for a football game, likely Madden NFL, offering codes to unlock vintage matchups like the 86 Browns or 72 Dolphins. There are also valuable secrets for Super Mario RPG, including a turbo-level building trick utilizing true-form pins and snippets, plus codes for infinite energy and stage skipping. Additionally, it provides cheats for NBA hang time, revealing hidden courts like the rooftop and jungle, alongside codes to boost your team's stats for max power, fast pass, and max block. This page is packed with ways to enhance your gameplay experience across these titles. This page provides a wealth of cheats and codes for several popular games. For NFL Quarterback Club 96, you can activate classic teams, toggle fumbles, enable rougher tackling, gain unlimited speed and new dives, or turn your team into rookies using simple button presses on the copyright screen. Might and Magic 2i players can use special portal codes to teleport for instant riches, warp directly to the King's ultimate power orb, or even jump to the game's final sequence. Mortal Kombat Trilogy offers a vast list of combat codes entered at the versus screen to modify gameplay, adding handicaps, disabling moves, speeding up recovery, enabling random morphs, dark fighting, or accessing hidden minigames, including a game of Pong that decides the fate of the universe. Battle Arena Toshinden rewards players for beating the game on different difficulties by unlocking characters like Gaia and Shu, Jet Mode for speed, Scorcher Mode for all special moves, and Gaia 2 and Uranus through specific button inputs during demo sequences. Finally, a password is provided to skip directly to the final prison stage in Frankenstein, through the eyes of the monster. This page dives into what's new and cool about Mario Kart 64 on the Nintendo 64. It highlights the game's shift to 3D graphics while maintaining the core fun racing experience. The article discusses the varied handling of the 8 different racers, each with their own stats, and mentions the 20 unique courses, including racetracks and battle arenas, across different terrains like sand, dirt, ice, and desert. Screenshots showcase the dynamic gameplay and environments. The piece also previews several key characters, such as Mario, Donkey Kong, Peach, and Wario, detailing their racing strengths. It serves as an early look at the Japanese version ahead of its North American release, promising a full strategy guide in the next issue. This page dives into the various modes and powerful items featured in Mario Kart 64. It breaks down the classic Grand Prix, Time Trial, and Versus modes, while highlighting the expanded battle mode with its multi-level arenas and unique terrain. The page emphasizes the game's ability to support up to 4 players simultaneously. Brief character profiles introduce Luigi as a versatile racer and Toad as a quick but lightweight option. The article also details the diverse arsenal of items, including different shells like the Seeking Spiny Shell, item bunches such as bananas and mushrooms for multiple uses, the tricky fake item box, the cart shrinking Thunderbolt, and the item stealing Ghost. Screenshots showcase gameplay from the different modes and item effects. This page delves into the diverse race courses and some key characters in Mario Kart 64. It walks through the tracks found in the Mushroom, Flower, Star, and Special Cups, highlighting features like traffic on Canopio Highway, moles on Moo Moo Farm, shortcuts on Koopa Troopa Beach, and the train on Calamari Desert. Character profiles introduce Koopa as a powerful heavyweight and Yoshi as a nimble racer, perfect for power sliding. The page also features an interview with Mario Kart 64 director, Mr. Kono, discussing the design philosophy behind the game, including the decision to make gameplay distinct from Wave Race 64 and the focus on the analog stick to give players the feeling of controlling an RC car. Various screenshots showcase the visual variety of the different tracks. This page shifts gears to William Entertainment's Cruisin' USA, arriving on the Nintendo 64 as the first auto racer for the console. It presents the lineup of cars available, starting with 4 initially accessible vehicles like the versatile 63 muscle car and the Italia P69, which excels in handling tight turns. The page also hints at 3 secret cars unlockable via codes, such as the challenging school bus and the powerful police car. Gameplay features include the ability to upgrade your cars by consistently finishing races in first place across the USA. The page also details the 2-player split-screen mode, emphasizing competitive strategies like blocking opponents to secure the win. Screenshots show action from the races and the car selection screen. This page delves into the various courses you'll conquer in Cruisin' USA. It provides a guided tour across the states, detailing tracks like Golden Gate Park, which eases you in, the tricky street racing of San Francisco, and the wide-open yet visually distracting Beverly Hills. You'll also navigate the Lea Freeway, tackle jumps on US 101, survive the dangers of Death Valley including a train crossing, weave through the dense redwood forest, and strategize your way through the twisty Arizona landscape. Each section offers insights and tips for mastering the unique challenges and layouts of these diverse racing environments, complemented by screenshots showing the action on the track. This page continues the road trip across America in Cruisin' USA, detailing the next set of challenging courses. You'll brave the Grand Canyon's boulders and vast landscapes, tackle the roller coaster-like turns and blind bends of Appalachia, and navigate the toll booths and distracting bugs in Iowa and Indiana. The Chicago leg presents distinct sections, including a tricky tunnel and street racing. Washington, D.C. throws tight, banking turns at you before you reach the finish line. Finally, the end sequence shows the victory celebration at the White House and mentions earning vehicle upgrades and discovering hidden cars by winning races multiple times across all 15 legs. The page offers tips and highlights the unique features and obstacles of each location, complemented by screenshots of the action. This page is the Counselor's Corner, offering expert tips for navigating challenging moments in classic Super NES titles. You'll find guidance for Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals, explaining how to utilize item points, IP, during combat by selecting the flame icon, and how to solve the puzzle in the lake cave to open a locked door by defeating enemies in a specific order. The page features screenshots illustrating the Lufia 2 battle menu, inventory, and the lake cave environment. It also covers DKC3, Dixie's Double Trouble, detailing how to acquire DK coins in the Springing Spiders level using a team toss technique, and in Riverside Race via Kitty's water skip or a unique ape assist method. Additionally, it reveals the location of the second bonus barrel in Murky Mill, accessible by using Ellie's trunk and a steel barrel. Gameplay screenshots accompany each DKC3 tip, showing key moments in these levels. This page offers expert advice for navigating challenges in popular games. For Super Mario 64, you'll learn that 70 stars are necessary to finally reach the top of the endless stairs to face Bowser for the final time. Tips are also provided on how to successfully race the snowman's body to unite it with its head, and where to find the vanished cap after draining the castle moat and hitting the blue exclamation switch. Shifting to Star Wars on the Game Boy, the page details how to recruit Obi-Wan Kenobi by first rescuing R2-D2 in the Sandcrawler. It also explains the strategy for destroying the Death Star, emphasizing the use of torpedoes in the trench run while avoiding obstacles. Finally, a Q&A section tackles specific questions for Tetris Attack, Madden NFL 97, and Donkey Kong Country 2. This page explores the world of Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, on the Super NES. It provides a detailed look at the first level, Stampede Sprint, mapping out where to find the Kong letters and bonus barrels, offering tips on using Team Toss and animal friends like Ellie the Elephant. The page also delves into the mysterious lost world of Crematoa, explaining how to access it via the Turbo Ski and guidance from Blunderbear. You'll learn about the unique levels within this hidden area, the cost to enter using bonus coins, and how completing them earns cogs. Specific advice is given on finding collectibles, including how to use Parry the Parallel Bird to uncover a bonus barrel in Stampede Sprint. The page features screenshots of the levels, the Crematoa world map, and the Kongs interacting with animal buddies. This page dives deeper into Donkey Kong Country 3 with a look at 2 levels. First up is Crisscross Cliffs, where you'll use Bazooka the Bear and special switch barrels to change his ammo between steel and TNT barrels, clearing obstacles like the red buzzes to climb the cliff. It explains how to use these barrels effectively. The page then shifts to Tyrant Twin Tussle, detailing the challenge of facing Cuff and Clout, 2 tough Kremlings who can only be defeated by TNT barrels. Tips are provided for navigating this dangerous level by timing your jumps and following banana trails. You'll also find a specific guide on how to obtain a DK coin from Coin using Squitter the Spider and Bazooka's barrels. Several screenshots showcase the action in both stages. This page delves further into Donkey Kong Country 3, focusing on 3 distinct levels. Swoopy Salvo features interaction with bird enemies, requiring players to bounce off them to navigate the environment and access bonus barrels, with a specific tip provided for finding a bonus coin this way. Rocket Rush is a vertical challenge where you pilot a rocket, demanding careful maneuvering to avoid obstacles and manage limited fuel during a descent and ascent. The Nautilus level is described as the final and most difficult stage, pitting players against Baron K. Rulenstein in a boss battle where precise use of steel barrels is crucial to overcome his attacks. Screenshots offer glimpses into the gameplay of each level. This page dives into the colorful world of Magic Boy, a game that expertly blends action and puzzle elements. You play as Hewlett, a wizard's helper who's accidentally turned his boss into an elephant and unleashed cuddly creatures across the land. Your mission is to explore over 30 stages, recapturing these critters. The guide walks you through the first level, Sandland, highlighting crucial tips. In Stage 1, you'll learn how to use bombs hidden in blocks, navigate warp portals, find hidden fruit for bonus points, and strategically time catching the last creature around a bonus book for extra goodies. Stage 2 focuses on breaking specific blocks to progress and finding a secret star hidden in a wall. It also emphasizes collecting letters like R and X to spell extra for an extra life. The page also outlines various power-ups Hewlett can find, such as bombs, unstoppable, tri-shot, 1UP, long shot, bonus book, and stars, explaining their effects and how to find them. Screenshots scattered throughout give you a glimpse of the vibrant gameplay environments and characters. This page continues the guide for Magic Boy's Sandland stages. It provides expert tips for navigating the challenges in stages 3, 4, and 5. Stage 3 emphasizes dealing with tricky enemies and finding collectibles like the letter E. Stage 4 highlights strategies for bagging snakes and securing important items like the book and the letter X, with a specific warning about which blocks to avoid blasting. Stage 5 focuses on managing bothersome birds, finding a warp point, and tackling dual orange enemies. The guide then teases future adventures in the More Magic, introducing upcoming levels like the dangerous water world, the strategic plastic place, and the platform-heavy future zone, promising even more magical challenges. This page explores the Super NES game based on the Casper movie. It highlights the core gameplay mechanic, Casper's ability to transform into 14 distinct morphs found within Whipstaff Manor. These transformations serve both for navigating the environment, like using the pillow to cushion falls or the rope to create bridges, and for combat and defense against the mischievous uncles. The page details various defense morphs, such as the spatula, water pail, and unique forms like the plunger, perfume bottle, and glass jug, each tailored to specific challenges or boss encounters. A map of the manor helps players locate these crucial morphs. The game's objective is to guide Casper and Knot through the haunted manor to find the Lazarus machine and restore Drive, Harvey, who has been turned into ectoplasm, culminating in a final confrontation with Kerrigan utilizing the Pirate Hat morph. This page guides you through the initial floors of Whipstaff Manor and Casper, showcasing maps and the locations of crucial morphs like the pillow and butterfly net to help you navigate and protect Cat. It details strategies for defeating Casper's uncles. Stinky requires the perfume bottle against his burps. Stretch is vulnerable to the plunger after he jabs with his umbrella, and Fatso is defeated by hitting him with the jug's plugs when he becomes a small blob. The guide concludes with advice for the final boss, Kerrigan, focusing on avoiding her attacks and deflecting electric beams with the pirate's sword. This page features the NP's Arena, highlighting various challenges for skilled players. The Battle Zone focuses on Super Mario 64, challenging players to find all the coins in the haunted Big Boo's Haunt level, emphasizing there are over 150 to collect. Challenge number 1 is a Wave Race 64 time trial on Sunny Beach, requiring players to post their fastest time over 6 laps. Challenge number 2 delves into DKC3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, asking players for their lowest time and highest percentage score, needing at least 103% to compete. The page also presents more twisted challenges. Reader-submitted ideas for games like Doom, Chrono Trigger, Mega Man X3, The Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and Final Fantasy II, often imposing strict limitations on items or abilities. Finally, the arena lists the top performers and winners from previous challenges across games like Chrono Trigger, Killer Instinct, Yoshi's Island, and Mega Man X3. This page features the Kongs on the ice, with a large illustration of Kiddy and Dixie Kong on a bobsled under the title, Go Ape on the Ice. This is the setup for the Players' Pole Contest. The grand prize is a trip for 2 to Lake Placid to ride the Olympic bobsled run, plus a copy of Donkey Kong Country 3, Dixie Kong's Double Trouble for Super NES. Second prize winners scored Donkey Kong Bunch sweatshirts and the DKC Trilogy CD sets, while third prize winners get Nintendo Power t-shirts. It's a mail-in contest tied to the Players' Poll, offering some great swag and a unique experience for lucky fans, continuing the focus on the Donkey Kong Country universe. This page is your ultimate guide to conquering the final challenges in some classic games, focusing on how to beat the toughest bosses. We've got strategies for taking down Mother Metroid and Metroid 2, Return of Samus, advising you to stock up on missiles and energy and use the spider ball to find hidden items. Next, we show you how to make a fool out of K. Rool in Donkey Kong Land 2, detailing how to use his own attacks against him by grabbing cannonballs from his gun. For Phantom 2040, the focus is on inflicting maximum damage on Maximum, suggesting you utilize your armor ability and energy blast, experimenting with different weapons for maximum effect. Lastly, we cover defeating the Joker in Batman, highlighting the effectiveness of the current weapon and smart positioning to avoid his counterattacks and finish him off. This page details strategies for defeating challenging final bosses. We start with Dracula in Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, who phases from a skull to human form. The key is to dodge his magic spheres by staying on the platforms and hitting him in the head with your whip when he's vulnerable. Next up is the Monster Hunter from Real Monsters. You must scare him 5 times to win. The trick is to hit the flashing red lights in the room, which makes him take off his goggles, giving you a chance to scare him while he's distracted. In the mask, you face Dorian Tyrell. Winning means using your morph points effectively. Lead with gun power, then switch to punch or mallet attacks, or use zip and super slide moves. Avoid his scream attack to finish the fight quickly. Finally, we tackle Wario in Super Mario Land 2 to 6 golden coins. He changes forms throughout the battle. To defeat him, you need to jump on his head a total of 9 times, dodging crystal balls and fireballs as he changes tactics after every 3 hits. This page serves as your power guide to the latest releases for January 1997, featuring reviews of 3 Nintendo 64 titles. NBA Hang Time is hailed as a slam dunk 64 port of the popular arcade basketball game, praised for its excellent graphics and faithfulness to the original, though noting the default controls are a bit awkward. Cruisin' USA is presented as the ultimate road race, bringing the popular arcade racer to the N64 with its high-speed cross-country action and inclusion of hidden vehicles like a school bus, though it lacks new tracks. Finally, Star Wars Shadows of the Empire is described as a monster action game that puts you in the role of Dash Rendar, combining elements of TIE Fighter and Dark Forces. It features great graphics, sound, and challenging gameplay, particularly due to its incredibly difficult AI at higher levels and some awkward camera angles. This page presents a collection of classic and re-released titles for the Game Boy and Super NES platforms. Featured are reviews for games like the 4 inches One Fun Pack for Game Boy, which bundles popular board games into one package, ideal for portable multiplayer sessions. The Game Boy also sees reviews for the cartoon-based platformer Animaniacs and the original handheld Vampire Hunter Adventure, Castlevania Adventure. For the Super NES, there are looks at the action platformer Magic Boy featuring unique vertical levels and creature collecting, and the movie adaptation Casper, where you navigate a haunted mansion using the friendly ghost's abilities. Finally, the puzzle action game Marble Madness for Game Boy is also reviewed. The reviews comment on aspects like graphics, gameplay, challenge, and theme, noting features like save options, player modes, and stage counts for each title. This page continues reviewing Game Boy games, picking up with Marble Madness and its notoriously challenging marble rolling gameplay. Classic maze action is revisited with Pac-Man, highlighting its enduring appeal and Game Link 2-player mode. Racing sim fans can check out Nigel Mansell's World Championship, featuring international Grand Prix tracks. Also reviewed are the platformer Tiny Toon Adventures 2 starring Buster Bunny, and the intense side-scrolling shooter Operation Tech. The page concludes with explanations of the Power Meter rating system and the IDSA age ratings, plus pros picks, based on genre preferences. This page dives into more Game Boy small classics, starting with the puzzle action of Q*bert, a classic arcade port where you hop on blocks to change their color. Next up is Looney Tunes, a platformer starring WB characters like Bugs, Daffy, and Yosemite Sam in various stages. The reviews continue with the original Adventure Island and its sequel, Adventure Island 2, Aliens in Paradise. Both are praised as fun platform adventures, with the second game featuring improved graphics and the helpful addition of passwords. The article emphasizes that these reintroduced Game Boy titles, totaling 16 selections, prove that small games can be just as enjoyable as console experiences, urging players to catch up on these classics if they missed them the first time around. This page continues the look at Game Boy small classics, featuring more essential titles for the handheld. Konami is heavily represented with the first 2 Castlevania games, The Adventure and Belmont's Revenge. Both offer classic action platforming against ghoulish foes, with the sequel adding improved moves and a helpful password save feature. For strategy fans, the 4 inches One Fun Pack bundles chess, checkers, backgammon, and reversi, providing plenty of board game challenge with multiplayer options. Animaniacs brings the wacky cartoon humor to a platformer with varied stages and moves. Racing enthusiasts can hit the track in Nigel Mansell's World Championship Racing, a sim featuring different modes like driving school, and a full tournament across international courses. Finally, Operation C delivers the signature non-stop shooting action of the Contra series, with challenging stages including vertical sections and power-up collection. These titles showcase the diverse range of quality available on the Game Boy. This page continues highlighting Game Boy small classics. Mindscape brings the challenging Marble Madness action/puzzle game, where you guide a marble through dangerous stages filled with traps and enemies, demanding skill and patience. Namco's iconic Pac-Man and Ms. Pac-Man are also featured, bringing their classic arcade maze-gobbling gameplay with ghosts and power pellets, with Pac-Man offering larger scrolling mazes and a harder difficulty. Konami presents 2 Tiny Toon Adventures platformers. Bab's Big Break lets you switch between Buster, Plucky, and Hampton, offering excellent control and graphics. The sequel, Montana's Movie Madness, takes Buster through movie-themed stages to stop Montana Max. Finally, Konami's Track and Field offers competitive sports action with 11 events like the Dash, Long Jump, and Javelin, requiring fast button presses and supporting 2 players via Game Link for head-to-head competition. These titles showcase a variety of genres on the Game Boy. This page provides an exclusive look at upcoming Nintendo 64 titles. The Pack Watch section highlights anticipated games like GoldenEye 007, Turok, and others. The main focus is on Rare's GoldenEye 007, an exciting first-person shooter bringing authentic Bond action to the N64, with gadgets, stealth, intense gunplay, and realistic graphics. Published by Nintendo of America, it features 7 missions with multiple areas and lots of cool content like character animations and weapons. Alongside this is an in-depth preview of Turok, Dinosaur Hunter by Acclaim/Iguana, showcasing significant improvements, a vast world, exploration centered around finding keys and dimensional travel, and detailed graphics with a helpful map display. The article also covers the unique N64 control scheme and the game's atmosphere as a 3D shooter with an excellent soundtrack, making you feel lost in the dinosaur-filled world. Both features are accompanied by multiple screenshots. The next page dives into upcoming 64 titles, starting with an exclusive first look at Clay Fighter Extreme. This fighting game from Interplay brings back characters and humor from the SNES titles, spoofing classic fighters like Street Fighter II and Mortal Kombat. It features pre-rendered claymation-style sprites battling in 3D arenas, with returning favorites like Blob and Mean Mr. Frosty alongside new faces such as Boogerman and Bonker the Clown. The developers are even hoping to include jolting pack support. Next up is Dark Rift, a futuristic fighting game where the camera intelligently follows the action for dramatic views. The screenshots shown are from actual gameplay, highlighting the surreal environments and explosive effects. Look for this one to arrive in the second or third quarter of 1997. Finally, we get a look at Hexen on the N64. This 3D action title, similar to Doom but with a medieval fantasy twist, is being brought to the console by GT Interactive. The preview notes that the N64 version looks promising and might even surpass the PC original. This page delves into more anticipated 64 titles and industry news. Tea Time gives us a look at SEGA's St. Andrews Old Course Golf, highlighting its realistic representation of the famous course and innovative control stick swing mechanic. Paradigm Simulations, the team behind Pilotwings 64, has formed a new entertainment division, with their first project being Sonic Wings Assault, featuring realistic 3D environments and giant boss characters. Ocean's Mission Impossible 64 project is heating up, showcasing impressive interior design and texture mapping, along with advanced AI, targeting a spring release. Other 64 news includes 3Do entering the N64 market with Battlesport 2 and Titus developing a Lamborghini racing game. The page also notes THQ is working on a licensed WCW game for the fall, joining the growing wrestling genre on the platform. A brief release forecast outlines expected launch windows for games across N64, Super NES, and Game Boy. This page previews the upcoming February 1997 issue, Volume 93, focusing heavily on the Nintendo 64. It promises extensive coverage and tips for Mario Kart 64, calling it a Koopatossin, banana peel droppin' wild ride. Also highlighted is an exclusive look at Rare's GoldenEye 007, described as a killer game, designed to keep you aiming your sights. The page also previews Harvest Moon, a Japanese farm simulation game where players manage crops, cattle, and family, noting it's harder than it seems. Additionally, the page lists contents from numerous previous issues and showcases 4 distinct limited edition collector's covers from a January bonus issue, featuring characters from Star Wars, Shadows of the Empire, including Boba Fett, a Stormtrooper, Dash Rendar, and the rare IG-88 cover.